Very good morning, dear children. Dear children, we are going to start chapter 9 of history, and the name is Traders, Kings, and Pilgrims. Now, first of all, children, you should know that who are traders. So, children, traders are the people who bring things from where they are made, means from the place where they are made, and they bring those things to be sold at other places. Fine. So those are the traders, and you know who are the kings and the pilgrims. Pilgrims are the one who visit different places. You can say religious places. Fine. So now children, we will start with the chapter how to find about trade and traders. So, children, as we have discussed in the previous chapter, we talked about northern black polished ware, which was a very, good pottery. We found, bowls, plates, and, several archaeologists. They found different, sites of all these throughout the subcontinent. Now, children, the question arises how these things they reached to many places in the subcontinent. So, children, the answer is traders. So, the traders may have carried, they would have taken, they would have bought things from the place where they were produced, and they would have taken it to different places for selling and getting some profit. So, children, if we talk about different areas, South India was very famous for gold, spices. In spices, it was especially for pepper and precious stones. Pepper was so much valued in the Roman Empire, children, that it was known as black gold. So these were the traders who were, carrying the goods to Rome in ships. Now, you all know the main means of transport at that time were ships only, means the sea routes, and or they would have gone by the land routes in the caravans. The traders they used to move in caravans. And children, there must have been quite a lot of trade, as many there, a lot of trade was going on, because the archaeologists they have found lot of gold coins in South India. So here is a poem on the next page which is just describing the trade. Fine. Now children, traders they used to find out different sea routes, and even they were following different coasts. There were other ports also across the Arabian and the Bay of Bengal, where these sailors they were these sailors they used to take advantage of the monsoon wind, because during the monsoon season they used to their ships will be moving quite fast with the monsoon winds, so they used to reach these places more quickly. So what they used to do, they use this west, just to reach the west coast, what they used to do, they used to uh, follow the southwest monsoon in order, if they want to come from East Africa and Arabia. Fine. And the ships should be very, strong, so that they can easily move in those winds. Fine. So that they can go through the long journeys. Fine. The next topic is new kingdoms along the coasts. So, children, see the southern half of the subcontinent. See, it has long coastline with hills, plateaus, river valleys. So, children, among the river valleys, the Kaveri area was very fertile. Chiefs, kings who used to control the river valleys, they used to become very rich. Why? We will get to know. Now, Sangam poem As you have seen above, this is a Sangam poem. So it mentions a term Movendar. So what is this Movendar? In Tamil word it means three chiefs. Fine. Now the who were these three chiefs used for the head of the ruling families? So who were these three? The Cholas, the Cheras and the Pandyas, and they were very powerful in South India around 2300 years ago. Now all these three, each of these three chiefs, they had two centers of power. Fine. One center was inland and the other center was on coasts. Fine. Of the six cities, now they three of them, they had six cities, two each, one in, one out. Fine. Two were very important. Out of those six cities, two cities were very important. What were those two? Puhar or Kaveri Patnam? It was the port of Cholas, and the other was Madurai. It was the capital of Pandyas. Now, children, now these chiefs, they do not collected regular taxes, but what did they do? They used to ask for the gifts from the people. Fine. Even when they were going on military expeditions, on war or something like that, they used to collect tribute from the neighboring areas. Means they were getting things from the neighboring areas. People were offering them. They kept some of the wealth. They used to keep some of the wealth with themselves. Rest they used to distribute among the supporters, families, soldiers, poets. Now the poets who used to compose, Sangam collection, compose poems for the Sangam collection. They used to compose these poems in praise of these chiefs. And in back what they used to get? They used to get rewards. Fine, like what do they get in rewards? Precious stones, gold, horses, elephants, chariots, and fine cloth. Around 200 years ago, yes, sorry, around 200 years later after this, dynasty known as Satyavahanas. After these three, then after that, Satyavahanas dynasty became very powerful in the Western India, and the most important ruler was, children, Gautami Putra Shri Satkarni. And how do we get to know about him? From the inscription which was written by his mother, and the name of his mother was Gautami Balashri. So these Satyavahanas rulers, they were known as the lords of Dakshinpath. And what is the meaning of Dakshinpath? Route which is leading to south. Fine. And it is also the name which was used for the entire southern region. Now these Satyavahana rulers, they used to send their army to eastern, western, even to the southern coast. Fine. The story of Silk Route. Now, what is Silk Route? Fine. Now, the route from where the silk was, carried, that is the Silk Route. Now, what is a silk? It was a very rich, glossy color of silk, as well as its smooth texture. It became very, very, everybody started valuing these fabric in most of the society. And children, making silk was not very easy. Raw silk they have to extract from the cocoons of the silkworms. Fine, and then they used to spun into thread and then woven into clothes. So different techniques of making silk were, the technique of making silk was first invented in China, and when around 7,000 years ago. And children, they kept this as a secret for thousands of years. Fine. Some people from China, who were going to different lands on foot, horseback, or on camel, they carried silk with them. And the paths they were following, the area, the route they were following, that was known as the Silk Route. And sometimes, children, these rulers, they used to send the gifts, of silk to the like rulers of Iran, West Asia. And from here it became, people got the knowledge about the silk. After that it spread in the West. About 200 years ago, silk became, a fashion among the rulers and rich people in Rome, and it became very expensive. Fine, it had to be brought. From where they were getting it? They were getting it from China. They had to go through dangerous routes, mountains, deserts, and the people, those who were living in these areas, they used to demand payments so that they can pass through the route that you are going from our route. You had to pay for that. Fine. So this way, children, uh, see, Silk Route had different branches and all. Fine. Now some kings, they tried to control large portion of the routes. Why? Because they were benefiting themselves from getting taxes, tributes, and gifts, which were brought by the traders traveling along the route. And in return, the traders who were passing through their kingdoms, the kings used to, protect them from the attacks of the robbers. Best known ruler who controlled the Silk Route were the Kushanas, who ruled over Central Asia and North India around 2000 years ago. And their two major centers of power was Peshawar and Mathura, and even Taxila was also there. Now, during their rule, children, a branch of Silk Route extended from Central Asia down to the seaports to the mouth of River Indus, from where silk was shipped westward to the Roman Empire. Previously, they were just bringing it from the land route, but now from the land route they reached the coastal seaport, and from there it was shipped to other places. Fine. Now the Kushanas, they were the earliest rulers of the subcontinent, and they issued earliest rulers who issued gold coins. And these gold coins were used by the traders along the Silk Route. So children, this is all about today's topic. Thank you and have a nice day.